Here we are in one of the most iconic places on campus, the beautiful Brotherton Library. The whole library is named after one man, Lord Brotherton. But who was he and what has he got to do with books? Edward Allen Brotherton was born in Manchester on the 1st of April 1856. The eldest of 9, he left school at 15 and gained employment in a Wakefield chemical manufacturing business. His success enabled him to establish Brotherton & Co. in 1881, which by 1900 had become the largest private chemical company in the UK. His first encounter with the world of books wasn't until 1922, when he attempted to buy the 15th century Townley manuscript of the Wakefield mystery plays to present to the city where he had been mayor. Outbid at the auction and reeling from disappointment, Brotherton offered to buy his niece-in-law, Dorothy Una Ratcliffe, a book of her choosing instead. She chose a first edition of Miscellaneous poems by the Yorkshire poet Andrew Marvell. This experience set in motion Lord Brotherton's passion for collecting rare books and manuscripts. In only 8 years he had acquired beautiful medieval manuscripts inlaid with gold, nearly 300 volumes of incunabula, books printed in Europe before 1501, 19th century literary treasures from the Bronte siblings and Keats, and the 4 17th century Shakespeare folios, considered the holy grail of book collecting. His interests laid in collecting travel-related material too, obtaining first-hand accounts written in the 17th and 18th centuries. These early travel writers include an aspiring medical student, an earl's son escaping religious persecution, and an anonymous naval victualler, provider of food and drink, whose diary includes precise illustrations, anecdotes, and advice about overseas ports. In total, he collected over 35,000 books, 400 manuscripts, 4,000 deeds, and 30,000 letters. The collection was among the finest and most celebrated private libraries in the country at the time, and we got to keep them. It was in 1927 that Lord Brotherton donated £100,000 to build a new library for the University of Leeds, the Brotherton Library, fashioned in the style of the British Museum, but bigger in true Yorkshire bravado. The Brotherton Library opened in 1936. Lord Brotherton managed to see the foundations of the library be laid before his death in 1930. He bequeathed his entire collection to the university to be housed in this new library, and additional funding to support future collection development. Since the purchase of that very first poetry book, Lord Brotherton's legacy has enabled us to continue conserving the archives of leading contemporary writers and poets. These archives include research notes, drafts, and correspondence, and are unique resources for students, researchers, creative writers, and artists. Many of these poets have connections to the University of Leeds, including Tony Harrison, the Nobel laureate Wal Soyinka, and Simon Armitage, poet laureate and professor of poetry at Leeds. And the collection continues to grow and inspire new generations today. Early career researchers are supported through the Brotherton Fellowship Scheme. New poets are encouraged through the Brotherton Poetry Prize. Lord Brotherton famously said, "A great library in a great university is a trust for the nation at large." A century after his first purchase, Lord Brotherton's vast collection of books, letters, and manuscripts forms the heart of the university's cultural collections. Made available to all via the Brotherton Research Centre, the collection in the library that bears his name remains accessible for everyone.